Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got 2/3 of the Coco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, the sexiest man on all Overnet Wrestling Radio. Boom, boom, here, shaking the room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, join me there, way there across the pond in England. He's a cheeky little bastard. He's on the piss tonight, talking about LK. That's right, okay. I looked up a little British slang. I know you're all 6s and 7s, you know, after reviewing TNA Impact, but now we're going to do some NXT that's extremely fucking late, and I apologize because I was watching TV on my couch. I have an odd schedule, and I fucking fell asleep. And I woke up, it was past midnight, and I was like, well, fuck it, I guess I ain't doing NXT. And
wait, so everyone just hold their breath, okay? So Booms didn't review NXT because it's 12:05. Or 12 o'clock. Right now it's 2:05 and I've still got a few shows to do tonight. Booms, you need to pull your finger out, young man, sort your work schedule out. You need to say to your boss, say, look, I'm not taking this shit. I have podcasting responsibilities I need to do. All right? That's what you need to do. Just grow a set, Boom. Just go up there and just say it.
Exactly, because real life gets in the way of the internet.
Yeah, not if you make internet get in the way of real life. That's the way you should live, Boom. That's the way you should live.
Exactly. But no, it's exactly. I'm not going to take it anymore. But you know, it's actually been a pretty good day today. You know, today I'm in a good mood because today was my cheat day. You know, one of the things I do is I try to, you know, I work out and I have to diet because I'm getting older and metabolism's slowing down. But you know, I allow myself a cheat day, and it's like the sun is brighter, the air is crisper. You know, it's like I'm walking through the grocery store. It's great because on normal days, I'm like, well, can't eat that, can't eat that, can't eat that, can't eat that, can't eat that. That tastes like crap. I can't eat that, though. Can't eat that. But when it's like on your cheat day, you're just like, everything's available. So I gorged myself. I had a foot-long Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich. Oh, God, it was delicious. And speaking of things that are delicious and great, that are actually easy on the eyes and your soul, talking about some WWE NXT. Of course, the first question we're always going to ask is win, loss, or tie. What say you, LK? Do you give the show a win, loss, or tie?
I'm gonna give it a strong tie, weak win around that. I'm not really convinced either way. There was a few bits I liked, a few bits I didn't. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I watched it really early in the morning, but this show kind of drag to you? To me, it just dragged. Like for the first time in a long time, it kind of dragged. Like the main event felt really, really long, and I enjoyed the opener. And then like I can't honestly remember off the top of my head anything else apart from the opening tag and the main event. Like it just felt like such a draggy show.
It's funny that you bring that up because NXT, since they've been doing like these extended TV tapings, like they did this one from the University of Central Florida. It's been like it's kind of like a boring sandwich, and by that I mean it's like you start out with something really good, you have some mediocre to boring stuff in the middle but then you end it on a high note. So it's like there's two good things, you know, but you had your boring stuff sandwiched in between two good things. And that's the way NXT's been running as of late. I think that mainly has to do with their taping schedule because they're going like balls to the wall with this stuff. I mean, we're looking at stuff that was this stuff was recorded like the second week of January. They've really stepped up their touring, so to cover for the extra time that they're going to spend on the road, they started taping a lot of this stuff in advance. And I think they're intentionally doing this. They take money matches and they're putting them at the start and the end, but they're taking like the other little squash matches and stuff and putting them in the middle. So if you would, LK, I gotta go check something real quick. LK, kind of give me your thoughts on you know, what you think about the direction of NXT. You know, is this popularity actually hurting them? Because there's the demand for it, so they're touring more, but do you think it's causing their main product to suffer?
No, I don't think it's a reason for it or any excuse for the product to suffer. In theory, it should be better because then, you know, more people watching means, in theory, Booms, you fucking imbecilic toilet. I'll put the camera on me, you stupid imbecilic sack of shit. I wish he told me he was going to go, I got the hot tag. Booms, you gave me some heel heat there. What was that all about? You left me hanging, and all I kept hearing was bomb, bomb, and I'm like, oh shit, has he gone for a quickie with his wife or something? Like, what's going on here?
I wish. No, actually, I'm about to go threaten my cat. He started scratching the couch when he knows he's not supposed to, and as soon as I got up, he's like, "Oh shit, I've done fucked up."
It's not good enough, Booms. It's not good enough. We're professional here at KocoSports.
Yes, we are.
We're professional.
All right, so you ready to break this bad boy down here? We're ready to go with the opener here. Was a 8-man tag match extravaganza. You had American Alpha, Jason Jordan, his tag team partner Chad Gable, teaming up with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassady to take on the tandem of Blake and Murphy, along with tag team champions Dash and Dawson. Now, normally, LK, I'm not a huge fan of 8-man tag matches. I know they had one that NXT TakeOver Brooklyn that was okay, at best. But I really felt like this one was actually a really good match. It got the right people over. Everything played a part. American Alpha is going to have a match coming up with Blake and Murphy, so it's kind of got them paired up. And it looks like Enzo and Big Cass, they're going to make another run at Dash and Dawson coming up soon. So it kind of played into the storylines. It kind of set everything up. I think ultimately they're going to have American Alpha versus Dash and Dawson, but I think they're laying the foundation for that right now. There were some good spots. I like that one where I think it was Jordan drop kicked Dash into a big boot from Colin Cassady. I like throwing the bad guys out of the ring. I liked Jordan and Big Cass just kind of hulking up at the same time, dropping the straps. It was just a really, really fun match. And then Enzo Amore and Colin Cassady get the win with the rocket launcher. So I thought it was a really fun match. Definitely more than what I would have expected, on paper. So I think it was a good opener, and I like the direction that it's headed. But your thoughts on it? I mean, do you think did you find it as entertaining as I did? And what do you think about what the direction they're going with, especially NXT's going with the tag team division right now?
Yeah, I mean, I swear to God, we always go through these phases where NXT, especially, like sometimes the tag division's great, then it suffers, then it's great, then it suffers. And at the moment, we're in the good stage, and you got a couple of great teams in there. And I love watching American Alpha. I mean, when Jordan does that straps and the crowd erupts, that's like you're on the edge of your seat, like, come on, fucking do it. Like, it gets you pumped just sitting at home watching it. Like, I really enjoy American Alpha, and I think they're going to be a really special team. One thing I don't really like is Corey Graves is the heel commentator, and he keeps on saying American Alpha is his favorite tag team. Before the match, he said they're his favorite tag team. Then during the match, he was saying Dash and Dawson, oh, he's stopping Chad Gable, none of this flash stuff. He's stopping and slowing the pace down to a standstill. And I'm sat there thinking, you're such a contradicting sack of shit. If you're going to be a heel commentator, which he does very well, don't get me wrong, he's a very, very good heel commentator, but you can't before the match say American Alpha's my favorite team. Then this like, right, for instance, me and you, Booms, we did just say we do a preview for Fastlane. Okay, and then I say, oh, Roman Reigns is my favorite wrestler of all time, and I'm really looking forward to the match. And then on the Fastlane review, I go on there and say, oh, I don't actually like Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose is the best. Like, it would make me look like an absolute dickhead. That's how I see Corey Graves. But the match is okay. I also love the spot where a Big Cass launched, I think it was Dash or Dawson, onto all three on the outside. My future wife, Alexa Bliss, looked absolutely incredible as always. Tiny, blonde, incredible ass. Doesn't get better than that. That's Booms has Bayley. I have Alexa Bliss. I'm rooting for and I'm advocating for a Bayley versus Alexa Bliss feud for the NXT Women's title.
I don't think that's going to happen, but we can always dream, right? We can always dream. We had that match a few weeks ago, but yeah, I like that. And how you doing to Andy Paps and Racist Fan Rocks 4? Thank you guys for joining us. And guys, keep your questions and comments going in the live chat. Really, pretty good way to start off. And now we went to, by the way, I know, here's the point I was going to make. There's something you brought up about, how NXT kind of goes in cycles with their divisions. Look for, in my opinion, really coming up really soon, the heavyweight championship division to suffer just a little bit, not much, because you've got a lot of call ups. It's looking like a lot of call ups are coming. There are rumors that Enzo, Amore, Colin, Cassady, and Carmelo are going to get called up as a trio. It's looking like Samoa Joe's going to get called up. Maybe Sami Zayn's going to get called up, and there's going to be, but so that's going to, I think overall that's going to hurt the NXT, the heavyweight division, and it's looking like Finn Balor may be staying NXT for the rest of 2016 to head the division, but that's just the nature of NXT. It was like that with the women's division. Remember, they gutted the women's division. They pulled up, Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha, and that caused a little bit. And there was only like at one point there was only just Bayley and Emma. That was the only two legit threats they've had. Now they've brought in Asuka. Now they're building up Nia Jax. Ava Marie, love her or hate her, she's going to be a major player in the women's division. Same thing with the tag team division. When they called up the Ascension, and then they called up the Lucha Dragons, I mean, it was desolate. I mean, that was the one. I think it was either you or no, it was Coco. Completely hated both Blake and Murphy as the tag team champions. I think they were the right team at the right time, and they did their job. And I do think they deserve some respect for that. But after they completely gutted the tag team division, it took them a while. But now they've built back up that tag team division, and I think that's the way NXT is going to go. It's just going to be, how are they going to rebound from the call-ups? And that was something that Wrestling Rant was talking about, because at one point the focus was the women's division, and they built that division up. They had produced some of the greatest women's talent in North America, and I think NXT is going to lay that same TLC, that's tender love and care for those of you playing along, kids. They're going to give that same TLC to the tag team division and build that up to be one of the best tag team divisions in North America. So that's where I think they're headed with this. But any disagreements here? Anything else you want to add to that before we go to the next match?
No, I think everything you said was completely true.
All righty. Next, we had some women's action here. We had Asuka versus Deonna Purrazzo. Purrazzo, this was a squash match straight up. This was luckily like a 3-minute match, but I will give some credit where credit is due. Purrazzo, she had taken on Asuka a few weeks ago, got demolished, actually got knocked the fuck out. Not legit, but got knocked the fuck out. She went back in this match and she's like, this was a learning opportunity and I'm going to go back in there. So I got some respects, to her for going in there. And of course, she was interrupted by Dana Brooke and Emma because they got nothing else better to do. And they had this match, and I don't know if she really sold it or Asuka was being stiff with her, but it looked like, especially with that ending sequence, when she was getting just like the forearms to the face, it looked to me like she was legitly taking those right to the face. And then she finally got hit with a roundhouse kick. That was enough to end it. And Asuka, of course, gets the win. They're building up Asuka. It's looking like it's going to be her versus Bayley. When's Bayley going to come up? It's for me. My guess would be the Monday after Mania, but that's me. But what do you think about Asuka here? And plus, you got Ava Marie and Nia Jax kind of waiting in the wings here. They're setting up a hook, as you would say, a hook for next week. It's going to be a tag team match. Bayley and Carmella taking on Ava Marie and Nia Jax. What do you think about the way they're setting up the women's division right now?
I think they're going to 4-way. I haven't read spoilers. I don't want to know the spoilers.
I don't
Please
read them either. So that's for those of you playing along at home. No, we're not reading spoilers. We're just going off the top of our head. We don't want to know spoilers because it ruins the fun.
Yeah, what's the point? I read SmackDown. Just say I read SmackDown spoilers. I'm not going to watch SmackDown tonight because I know what happens. That's the way I see it. Anyway, I digress. I think they're going to go down the 4-way route. I honestly think we're going to get Bayley, Carmella, not Asuka, Nia Jax, and Eva Marie. And I think Asuka's going to continue the feud with Emma and Dana Brooke. Because if you noticed, Emma and Dana Brooke did that gimmick in the back with Deonna, the one with black hair and a nice ass and the red. Yeah, her. She then went on to face Asuka. So I think they're going to continue the feud of Emma and Asuka and Dana Brooke for just a little bit longer until they do the dream match of Bayley versus Asuka. Because I think that's the money match. And I think we've been saying this for a long time that they need to save that for as late as possible. But again, it's WrestleMania season. So maybe they want to showcase Asuka and Bayley to the best of their abilities against each other. So maybe it'll make sense for them to do that at the Mania one. At Dallas, Texas, isn't it? In the TakeOver, if I'm right. I'm not 100% sure. I can't really remember. But as a match itself, I just felt sorry for the poor girl. She just got battered, beaten, blacked and bruised. But it done the purpose. It got Asuka over. But how many more times do we have to see Asuka come out and squash someone for 3 minutes? We saw a match with Emma. We saw one match with Emma. One match with Emma that was great, that was long. Apart from that, all we've seen from her is her backfisting people. There's so much hype around this woman. And so far, I'm very unimpressed. I'm underwhelmed. She's done jack shit for me. She's done absolute jack shit.
Well, I mean, she squashed everybody in her path. I mean, she won the matches against Emma. She's squashed virtually everyone they put up against her. I'm surprised at this point they're not putting two girls against her.
Yeah, why not do two? I reckon she should just end this feud of Dana Brooke and Emma by beating the both of them, to then move on to Nia Jax, to then move on to Bayley, have a feud of Carmella in there somewhere, but have her have some good long matches so we can, it's all well and good having her go out there for 3 minutes and squash someone. That's not a lot of time to attach to a character, especially in WWE where it's such a character-driven company. There's no time to attach yourself because she's there, she's out.
I wouldn't say she's not over because if you look at
no. But I'm just saying if she doesn't have that, if she didn't have all that Japanese background, okay, she didn't have all that following from whatever fucking wrestling promotion she was in Japan, she wouldn't be over at all, and you know that. Finn Balor would be over, Apollo Crews would be over, Sami Zayn would be over because they've worked hard and they've got great characters. Asuka is over because of her hype. And she needs... I just wish that, next week, Asuka versus Carmella. Have them go out there, have a 10-15 minute match. Asuka versus the Beast Woman. Have a 10-15 minute match. Just go out there.
We just got a new nickname for Nia Jax. Congratulations.
She's now Beast Woman. Just go out there and have her have long matches so that we can get attached to her as a character, because she doesn't have one. She comes out of a mask, that's it.
Well, the match she had in London was pretty good. I mean, even this match against Deonna Purrazzo, she's actually gotten on the mat and wrestled these girls. I mean, remember when she wrestled Cameron? She just did that flying armbar out of freaking nowhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she needs to have longer matches against more competitive people. Because she's just going up against Deonna Purrazzo, the girl with the red. It ain't going to do much for her. I love NXT because they do the squash matches.
Okay, I see where you're going with it now.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that. I want to see what she can do. And maybe, who knows, maybe Bayley will be that. As far as I know, Asuka's undefeated. Maybe Bayley will hang on to the women's championship just a little bit longer. Maybe that'll be her first loss. Or maybe they're going to flip the script. Now, typically speaking, you have a heel champion that's like a monster that's unstoppable. You throw everybody at this monster heel, but they squash everybody in their path, and it's like, oh my God, who could actually who could take this person down? We've thrown everything at this person, and they can't. Maybe they're going to flip flop it, and that'll be the baby face. Who's going to stop Asuka? Who's going to be the baby? Who's going to be the heel that could rise up to actually provide a legit challenge to Asuka? Or who knows? Maybe Bayley's going to be that challenge. Maybe that'll be the first loss. Or I think somebody put it that, Asuka showed Bayley her future, her demise, and smiled the whole time. Mm. So, I mean, it's interesting. I want to see I really want to see where this goes. But no, I kind of agree with you now that I see where you're going with it. I want to see some longer competitive matches. Maybe they're just treading water with her because they're just waiting to pull the trigger and go ahead and send her up to the main roster. Maybe she'll pass Bayley. She'll be the Monday after Mania debut. They're pretty much got her getting her acclimated to the WWE style. Oh my God, can you imagine that? She goes up to the main roster
before Bayley.
I'm just saying. Let's just play along here. Let's just say they send Asuka up before Bayley. I don't think they're going to do it, but imagine if they did. There'd be nobody left in the Divas division.
Yeah, I don't know though, because the whole Bellas are leaving. So, maybe there's some actual, you got Natalia. Oh, Natalia and Asuka. Jesus H. Christ, and a popsicle stick. That could be great. Oh, who else you got? He could do Paige. That could be great. Becky Lynch could be great. Banks could be great. Charlotte could be great. Alicia Fox, I think she's an okay worker. She's done some good stuff on main event recently. Could be great.
If you
Actually, look at
when you think about it, for those of you maybe a little behind here, it's looking like Brie Bella's going to hang it up too. Nikki may have just had her career ended with this neck surgery, because even if she does, I don't think she's going to be the same after this. So if you get both the Bellas out of there, I think worst that you've got out of the active rosters is Alicia Fox, and Alicia Fox is not that bad.
No.
She is not that bad at all. And then, but somebody's like jumping up, well, what about Summer Rae and Rosa Mendez?
Dude,
I'm like,
Summer Rae on Raw. Wow, where did that come from? Did you watch Raw this week? Summer Rae and Paige, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she put on a technical clinic. She legit wrestled like she knew how to wrestle. I was like, Summer Rae, where have you been all my life, you blonde little sweetheart? Honestly, I was like, what the fuck? Honestly, if you watch anything from Raw, Booms, if you haven't, you'd be so shocked and pleasantly surprised if you see Summer Rae versus Paige. You're like, where the fuck has this been? Like, if she wrestled like this 2 years ago, she could be Divas champ by now. Maybe she's taken some time off because she's actually learned to wrestle somewhere. But Jesus, she won the match and she done it very nicely. Really good job.
Well, who knows? Maybe they can all wrestle. They're just told, like, okay, don't wrestle because we don't want to make the Bella Twins look bad. So wrestle worse than them, and you can only wrestle for a maximum of 90 seconds. And it has to end in a schoolgirl roll up. By the way, if I ever get in charge of WWE, and everybody can just freaking get high and let's just go transport to an alternate universe where this could happen. I ban roll ups. I tell the girls, the guys can do that, but I was like, no, none of your matches can end on a schoolgirl roll up. None of them. No, never. You have to wrestle, and you cannot end it on a schoolgirl roll up. Oh, and a slap and hair pulling cannot be part of your repertoire. Just
to be fair, they've done a pretty good job at cutting that shit out. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen anyone do that.
All right, next match here. This was the shocker of the night. Forget the main event, forget the opener. This was the shocker of the night. Alex Riley versus Ty Dillinger, and the Perfect 10 gets the win. I give, and for that WWE for that NXT, for your creative team, I give that a 10 out of 10. Alex Riley, came in looking up jacked. Ty Dillinger, unfortunately, I think with the exception of one win, he's pretty much been jobbing the entire time in WWE, especially since he switched over to the Perfect 10 gimmick. But he gets the win. He gets a surprise roll-up, and Dillinger gets that first win. And, God, it seems like it's been forever.
I think it probably is forever.
I think he beat, was it Angelo Dawkins? I'm trying to remember the last time he actually won a match. I mean, he won it like he dropped his knee pad and did this thing where he puts his knee into the temple of his opponents and falls back. And I'm trying to think, but he got a roll up there, and I just kept thinking, wow, Daniel Bryan has to retire because the risk he took to get to the top, his heart, his dedication, everything finally caught up with his little body. But yet, there's Alex Riley. He's still on the roster. He's still available, kids.
Dude, this is my little guilty pleasure. I fucking adored Alex Riley this whole time. I'm like, what the fuck? I think with that loss, he's going to start snapping, and I think he's actually going to become a big time player in NXT. Lots of people not happy with that, but it will. The way I see it, I look at him and I'm like, holy shit, he looks like a wrestler. He looks like a guy who could actually kick the living shit out of anyone. He's got a great look, marketable. He can cut promos. He could promote matches on commentary because we can know he's pretty damn good at commentary. And he's not that bad in the ring. I think the guy's it. I think he's great. I think he's phenomenal.
I was actually kind of confused because you have Corey Graves as the heel announcer, and there he was straight up pulling for Ty Dillinger, and there's Alex Riley, and he's just ripping on Alex Riley, saying hasn't shaved in a week, hasn't bathed hasn't washed his hair in a month, and I mean, it was just really. I was like, wait a minute, something's not. This is topsy turvy land here. But the problems I have with Alex Riley is this: Alex, if you're gonna be cocky, at least be good.
He's not that bad. I've seen Bull Dempsey wrestle, so I've seen worse.
He's like a fucking douchebag. Like, he gets on Twitter and fucking trolls, and I'm like, dude, seriously? No. I mean, it was like when he criticized basically AJ Styles getting the main roster jump, when he got a tattoo on the back of his neck to mock AJ Lee. I'm just like, dude, seriously, you need to reorganize your priorities in life. And hyped, he hypes himself up, but I don't think he really delivers. He's just somebody, from what I understand, backstage is not that pleasant to deal with. So to me, I don't even know what he's still doing on the roster. But those are
Bull Dempsey's gone.
Yeah, those are. Oh yeah, they got room now, but those are just our respective opinions there. And then we get to the main event. Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe. This had a big fight feel to it, in my opinion. But this match came about. This is the fallout from the triple threat match, of course. Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe both locked a submission hold onto Baron Corbin in their previous match. Baron Corbin tapped. Then there was the controversy of who actually made him tap. So in order to make amends, William Regal said, "Okay, we're gonna have to keep going here. These two are gonna have to have a match, and the winner of this will be the number one contender to the NXT title." They had another match, and before we give away the ending, I mean, just how do you think NXT is handling the booking on this match? I mean, I thought going into this, they had Baron Corbin walk into William Regal's office and demanded that they pretty much restart the match and include him in it, to which he said no. And then Corbin replied and goes, "You know what? I believe in an eye to an eye, especially when it comes to stealing." I thought, okay, please tell me this fucking shit stain's not going to interfere in the fucking match. But he doesn't, thank God. But that fucking douche nozzle's out of the picture, at least for a while. But before we get to into the bulk of the match and especially the ending, I mean, what do you think about the build up to this? And do you think this is all for naught here? Because these two guys could be called up to the main roster particularly soon.
No, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I liked the match. I liked the pacing of it. I liked the length it got. It really did got given a lot of time. I think it was like 15, 20 minutes. Loved the finish. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming in any way, shape, or form, and that caught me off guard, and I enjoyed it. When I first saw it, I was like, wait, his shoulders are down. Like, it clicked. It's like, oh, they're doing that again. Like, I don't know where this is going to lead. Like, I guess they're going to do a rematch sometime down the line, but I'm kind of looking forward and interested. And like I always talk about the hook. Next week, you're going to tune into NXT to find out what the solution to this problem is going to be. So overall, I enjoyed it.
So let's elaborate what the problem is. I mean, these two went all over the ring. I loved it. They kept it inside the ring. Sami Zayn, he actually hit a blue thunder bomb on Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe's like over 300 fucking pounds. So props to Sami Zayn for that. Anyway, Zayn reversed out of a muscle buster, and then came in for hit the haluva. It's supposed to be the haluva, but if you look at it's supposed to be a hell of a kick. He falls over Samoa Joe. If you haven't seen this, you need to watch this for me to accurately describe it. Samoa Joe is out. He is down. Sami Zayn falls on top of him backwards, and his shoulders are on the mat. And this was so subtle, but I love how they did that. Samoa Joe had basically his right arm on Sami Zayn's shoulder, and if you look carefully, his right leg was actually on Sami Zayn's other arm. The referee counts 3, and of course I thought, okay, Sami did it, and he said no, double pin. And then they brought out William Regal. Was like, no, I want to know. I got to have a number one contender. Who's my number one contender? And the referee's like, no, back up. He checked. I mean, he lowered both guys' hands. Sami Zayn thought he did it. No, referee lowered his hands. Samoa Joe, oh, I guess I did it. No, referee lowered his hands. William Regal's out there. I need to know who my number one contender is. He's like, it's a draw. I cannot make that decision. They were both shoulders were down. They were both covered. It's a draw. So I'm wondering what in the world are they going to do? And I'm thinking the only way they could do this now is to up the ante. And to me, to up the ante would be a submission match or a last man standing match. That's the only thing I could think of that would make it to that way they don't have to worry about pins. You don't have to worry about disqualifications, errant calls. Just you have to make somebody say an I quit match, submission match, or a last man standing match. That way, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I think they should do a ladder match with the contract on the dangling down.
Okay, as long as it's a ladder match. I don't like items on a pole matches.
That's a good shout, actually, on a pole. That's a great idea. I don't get what the issue with that is. Actually, from a storytelling standpoint, it's an absolute joke. But ladder matches, from a storytelling point of view, are actually really funny if you watch them properly. But no, I enjoyed the match. Really good match. Loved the ending, as I mentioned earlier, and just it was a good match. Give it a watch.
Yeah, so overall, I mean, I give it a solid win. I think even like the little bitty things like the Asuka squash match was good, and I think Ty Dillinger get a win was a pleasant surprise. But this main event was fucking amazing. Opener was good. It was just a solid hour of television. So I give it a win, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I mean, I've got a couple of things to look forward to. I want to see how they're finally going to resolve this issue between Joe and Zayn, and then you got to look at the tag team division. These guys are going into their respective matches. You got Carmella and Bayley teamed up to take on Ava Marie and Nia Jax. There's a lot of good things going on. And, don't get me wrong, I love Lucha Underground. I think it was a good hour, but I think NXT can hang with them as far as a good solid hour of professional wrestling.
Yeah, but I don't look at Lucha as pro wrestling. I don't think you can compare Lucha to anything. I really don't think.
I'm say entertainment value. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, this was a good show. The way I see this is NXT is it's a wrestling company. Mm-hmm. TNA Sports Entertainment, and believe me, I
know it's kind of a tired phrase. It's apples versus oranges. Well, yeah, they're two totally different things, but it doesn't mean I can't go. Well, they're both fruit, and I both think they're both equally delicious, even though they're not, the same thing. I can still find them both delicious. Same thing with this Lucha Underground. Yeah, it's a wrestling show, and it's entertaining. NXT is a wrestling show. It's a totally different type of wrestling show, but it's also entertaining, and I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, and what I've learned to do over the past few months is because lots of people don't like how we compare Raw to other shows, and that's not fair. So what I've learned to do is to watch a show either as a sports entertainment fan and as a wrestling fan. Like there are two. When I watch NXT, I watch as a wrestling fan. When I watch Impact, I watch this week's Impact. Okay, I watched this week's Impact. I gave it a strong tie - weak win because I watched it as a sports entertainment fan. Okay, so all the TNA fanboys right now have pre-cum running down the side of their leg. Okay, they legitimately have pre-cum running down the side of their leg. Oh my god! Okay, you gave it a strong win. How can I see this show? Well, you can see it on the VIP section in the link in the description box below for 99 cents, 99 pence, whatever. And what I like about this time, it's just like a YouTube channel, Booms. It's exactly the same as a YouTube channel, but it's a subscription service. You get the first 14 days free. Already 7 shows uploaded, and it's been going on since Tuesday. So really knuckling down. And go sign up. That's the cheapest plug in the world. But go for it, please. Carry on.
Sounds great. All 4 of our TNA fans are going to be so excited to hear that, because God bless them. I had to say, Coco, did a stump the idiot. Somebody asked him, what was better, WWE or TNA? And then, he said, well, and if you're going to compare just those two, I would say WWE's the best. Oh my God. I mean, you would have think he slapped the Pope. You think he would have kicked your puppy. He would have called your grandmother a whore. I mean, my God, people started savaging him for that.
To be fair to them, to be fair to those TNA defenders, this week's Impact was better than Raw. A lot.
Dude, let's set the bar at least a little high here.
But again, see, you're saying set the bar higher. We shouldn't. because TNA sports entertainment, Monday Night Raw sports entertainment. You know, sports entertainment means it's all about storytelling, characters. You know, it does the in-ring matches. You know, as long as you get a guy over, the actual content of that in-ring match doesn't really matter unless you're trying to get someone over. On this show, the first 30 minutes was 5 segments. You had one wrestling match in there. The rest was just segment. And I loved the variation of settings. You had one was in a parking lot, one was in, you know, part of the building, one was in a dressing room, one was in ring, one was on the ramp. And I was there like, this is actually very good sports entertainment. Because on Tuesday, I did a Raw Rewind where I reviewed the April the 2nd, 2001 edition of Monday Night Raw as part of the Raw Rewind series, as part of the VIP gimmick. And I was like, everything was so, like, in the first half an hour, there's like 5-10 segments. Bullshit in-ring content. There was nothing in-ring-wise. The wrestling back then was shit, but the storytelling and the character development was insane. Like, there was this 5-second clip of Triple H watching the TV, pissed off. He slaps the coffee off the table and walks off. It's sports entertainment. It's entertainment. It's fucking great. So, all you TNA fans, if you accept this, if you say it's a sports entertainment company, not the alternative, if you dare say this is the alternative, because it's really not. If you say TNA is a good sports entertainment company, a great sports entertainment company, I will tilt my cap and shake your hand. If you say it's the alternatives, I watch TNA because W sucks, you're a moronic imbecile. Let's move on to some live comments, Boom, before we get kicked off.
Let's get to some live comments here. Let's see here. Reese's fan rocks 4. Apparently, let's just say he's a fan of Carmella in the sense that I'm a fan of Bayley and that you are a fan of Alexa Bliss. So, hey, nothing wrong with that. Oh, God, Andy Paps, fuck you. And I mean that in a very loving way. It's time for Push Barry Fire, but he put us in a pickle.
Okay.
Here's the pickle we're in. Push Barry Fire, Enzo Amore, Colin Cassady, and Carmella.
I would. I'd push Carmella. I think she's really good. She's really improved a lot. I would bury Cass. No. Yeah, I'd bury Cass and I'd fire Amore.
Ugh, this is tough. Yeah, I'll go with push Carmella. Definitely, I think Carmella's gotten a lot better. I would probably bury Amore and fire Cassady. Jesus, dude, why do you make me come off like an asshole? Come on, Andy. I thought we were friends, bro. Come on. Why you gotta make me look like this? Why you gotta make me look an asshole? Come on. All right. Mitchell Martinson, he gives it a weak win. 8-man was great. I enjoyed the perfect 10 winning, as did I. Asuka is awesome. Yes, she is. Last match was a great minus the ending. I don't know. I kind of like the ending. I think it just added some more. It definitely got me interested because I'm like, okay, how the hell are they finally going to resolve this? I mean, it was done in such a good way. Andy Paps has another question here. Who wins, Young Bucks or American Alpha?
Oh, I'm sorry. I love American Alpha. They're probably my favorite tag team in the whole world right now. I'd go American Alpha.
I'm going to go with Young Bucks because they've got the experience.
Oh, sorry. Who would win? Oh, sorry. I thought you meant as in, like, who's your favorite? As in, yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. Joshua Green, think someone from NXT or an alternative debuts on the main roster before Mania? Ooh, no, I don't think anybody on NXT debuts before Mania. I really don't.
Well, there was talk today about Baylor being Taker's opponent for Mania. I think that's why he's got that question come up. And
I've heard that rumor too, that Undertaker's opponent is not on the main roster. I think call me crazy here, but I think it's John Cena. I think they're arguing semantics right now, and I think they're going to try to get Cena back way ahead of schedule, sooner than what he should be, because apparently fuck him and his well-being. And they're going to try to get him in that match against The Undertaker, because I got a feeling if it don't happen this year, then it ain't going to happen, period. I think we're going to have to resign ourselves to the fact that that match they wanted to hype up between Sting and Taker is never going to happen now, because Sting needs neck surgery. And it just would not be safe. And I think Taker might be done after this Mania.
Yeah, I
And
want him to be against someone who can carry him. Like
yeah,
people were, I don't like the idea of having like Sting or a legend have a match with him because in theory, Taker's getting on. All due respect to the guy, but he's getting on in age. He needs someone to carry him. That's why I thought it was a safe option to have Rollins, who's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, carry Sting, and even Sting got hurt in that one. So Baylor's offense, it's kind of there's not much that could go wrong. Like looking at it from a standpoint, he does the coup de grace, that's fine. The running flip over the top, that's fine. The sling blade, that's just a bump. If you actually look at Baylor's offense, there's nothing that Taker can't handle. So all Baylor has to do is, just make sure he can take it to a good match and tell a good story. So I think Baylor is the perfect choice.
and see, this is why I believe. And people were like, "Oh, Marcus, you're being, boom, boom, you're being too goddamn critical because you're trying to criticize Brock Lesnar for beating the Undertaker for snapping the streak because, well, here's the thing: if this is going to be Taker's last Mania, wouldn't it be nice to know? Well, if it's going to be his last Mania, his last match, is he going to put over this person or is he going to go out undefeated? Now, I just don't care.
Really?
Okay.
I think no, because if just say Taker faces Baylor and Baylor beats Taker, that guy's going to be a star, an absolute star. Like the reports of Owens, and I don't think Owens should face Taker because of the exact reason I brought up is the style. Like the cannonball, that's going to hurt. The backsplash, that's going to hurt. The moonsault, if went wrong, could be dangerous. The flip off the top. I think it's dangerous to have Owens against Taker. So stick to Baylor. Imagine Baylor beating Taker. Like the star that man would be. Because only one person's ever beat Taker at Mania still. It's not like, oh, the guy lollygags and fucks around. Taker wins all the time. He beat Lesnar during the summer, albeit by dodgy fashion, but he still beat Lesnar. That's closer than anyone else has come over the past 2 years. And he defeated the Wyatt family pretty much by himself. Poor Kane. So I honestly think it could be a huge asset for the company to put over someone with Taker.
At least Braun Strowman's off the fucking table. Thank you, merciful God.
Oh.
Yeah, now they're just going to have him win the Honor of the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And of course, if history's an indication, that means his career's going nowhere.
Good. Have him win it.
Exactly. Let's see. Who won? Let's see. Cesaro won it. His career went nowhere immediately. Big Show won it. His career went nowhere. Like always. So if Strowman wins it, yeah, I'm not really worried.
I'm rooting for Zack Ryder to win that one. It's NXT. I have to get in my Zack Ryder little dig. Like I got my Bull Dempsey dig in there, and I got my Zack Ryder dig in there. That's my job well done. My job for the day's done.
Yes, it is. Okay, one last question here, then we're going to call it here. This is from Mitchell Martinson. He asked, do you think Enzo and Cass will ever be NXT Tag Team Champions? No, I do not. And here's the reason why. I think American Alpha is so red hot right now. When you get a fire that's just so hot it turns blue because that heat is so intense? That's where I think American Alpha's at. Plus, you're looking at calling up Enzo and Big Cass and Carmella. And I think it does nothing for them if they win the tag team championships, especially if it's looking like they're going to get called up right after Mania or somewhere. It might be even be the summer. I think that winning the tag team championships are really not going to help them. I mean, they don't have a credibility issue. They don't have a problem. I mean, they're over. They're entertaining. They're fun. And putting the NXT Tag Team Championships on them really wouldn't help them anymore. I think keeping the belts on Dash and Dawson actually helps them. I think, and plus it gives them something to protect, and plus it gives the fans some expectations or something to hope for that American Alpha can reach is the Tag Team Championships. But I don't think I don't think Enzo and Cass really need it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I say this on every single NXT review because this question always gets brought up no matter what, every single time. They should not win the NXT tag titles because then when they do win the WWE tag team titles, the commentators, if they did their job well, can say, look, Amore and Cassady cannot win the big one. That they've had chance after chance at NXT. They just can't win the big one. Then when they win it at WrestleMania, it's going to be that feel-good moment. It's going to be special, and then they're going to be stars for life. That's how I think they should do it. It's a slow burn. I know the wrestling business doesn't like to do that these days, but it's a slow burner that could make them a lot of money in the future.
Absolutely. Oh, and Johnny Olvera has a pretty good point. If Balor beats Taker, and this is all theoretical, he can say Lesnar may have ended the streak, but he retired him.
Yes. Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
perfect. That sets up a summer feud easily. That's Lesnar Baylor. Just imagine if Baylor beats Taker at Mania, SummerSlam, say in June, wins Money in the Bank. Summer knocks off Lesnar. December, World Champion. Mania next year, main events, WrestleMania's WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's the ideal world. That's putting all your stock in one guy done properly. That's built long advanced booking. But that won't happen because Baylor's awesome and WWE isn't in the business of being awesome, as illustrious Dave Coco would say.
All right, kids. Well, that's going to do it for our NXT review. Just going to remind you, we've got a Ring of Honor review coming up. We've got to do our predictions for Fastlane. And speaking of Fastlane, we're going to do our pay-per-view coverage. And then, of course, we'll start all over again with Monday Night Raw with Coco and LK. Maybe Wrestling Rant will come in and join us, some more along the way. And you can always, in the meantime, you can always check us out at prowrestling.me. That's right, not a .com. It's prowrestling.me. And, of course, you can always find us at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass. And most importantly, it's where it's okay to be a passionate fan. So this is Boom Boom. And for my tag team partner, LK, I am over